lovely day today. Right now, I just got up not too long ago. Was listening to Reverend Ike, and then I got this download. Dina, do a live. Okay, so right now I'm pretty much cooking breakfast. Well, I haven't started yet, honey, but I hope you guys are having a phenomenal day. So on the menu today is the usual pancakes, sausages, and eggs and cheese. And with the pancakes, I like putting a little dash of cinnamon in the pancakes. So yesterday I did a video um because it's this girl that I know. Hey, Miss Harden. Dang, Miss Harden, where you been at? Hey, Angie, peace to you, baby. Peace to you, peace to you, peace to you. Oh, honey, Angie, I'm doing better than great. Okay, how you doing? Um, so I'm just whipping. So yesterday, okay, it's this young lady that I know that I grew up with, and I remember she had made a post about like her mother, and she was like, I guess like a little hurt, and she was saying like why her mother, now she's pretty much about my age, and she just was saying like she don't know why her mother never loved her, right? And she said no matter what she did, it always felt like, oh, working, working, working. How you been now? And she said that if it always felt like her mother never, wait, hold on, child. Because here I'm talking and my phone looking like this. Wait, hold on, child. Hold on 1 minute. Okay. Oh, and first off, let me thank you guys. Okay. I am so grateful for you guys. Okay. For you watching my videos. Let me tell you something. I truly, truly appreciate it. Because, honey, all right, when YouTube be sending, well, when the check get deposited, like it really helps me and my children. I'm so appreciative for you guys. 1 second. All right. One of the greatest things to clean with is this right here. So I had got this from Dollar Tree. Oh my goodness. This is vinegar. Honey, don't you try to clean no chicken with this or whatever it is. You any meat with this. Okay. This is just cleaning purposes only. And when I tell you for $1.50, I mean it's the greatest thing in the world. It is really, really good. Especially like for windows or glasses or anything like that. It's streak free. Wait, hold on, child. Really, really good. I mean, it's really amazing. Okay, now that we popping and ain't stopping. Wonder about what, Angie? What you wonder about, girl? So one of the things, the girl who I pretty much grew up with, so she said, it's so funny, honey. I may be a little all over the place this morning. That's how the energy is. Okay, I feel so amazing. Now, my youngest daughter, let me tell you something. She got up yesterday. Now I've been making them breakfast, like because my youngest children, they at the house from Monday up until Thursday. Thursday they go to their dad house. And so, well, Thursday night. And so I've been making them breakfast, right? Like every day. So my youngest daughter, she gets up yesterday morning and she was like, I thought we was gonna have breakfast. I looked at her, she ain't even eat the last breakfast I cooked. But last night, I thought, you know what, I'm gonna make them some breakfast, okay, when they get up in the morning. I like this. This part I like. I like cooking You know, especially like with the onions and everything. Like I love cooking only when I want to cook. You know, not something that like I have to do. Like when I love cooking when I'm in the spirit to cook. Okay, put it like that. Okay, because it will be leftovers galore. Now, getting back to what I was saying. Now, oh, listen to this. It was a lady, right? It's this couple that I watched, and I think they most likely on every platform, and they do like they try the recipes, like they look at the videos and stuff like that, other people's videos, and then they try the recipes. I can't think of their name. Oh my goodness, I love them. They so funny, especially the husband. And so they was trying out someone's recipe, and it was pancakes. And instead of putting oil in a pan, the lady said put heavy whipping, heavy whipping cream in a pan. Oh my goodness, those pancakes came out so fluffy. And a couple said the pancakes was absolutely amazing. But honey, we ain't got no heavy whipping, okay? We just got water, pancake mix, and some cinnamon up in here. All right, so getting back to the story. So the girl, she said that, you know, and this was probably like a few months ago. She said that she don't know like why her mother never really, you know, loved her like that. No matter what she would do. And one of the things that, you know, we have to understand, I remember hearing, oh gosh, what is his name? Oh, but I remember hearing somebody say that we tend to recreate our childhoods and make them worse than they actually were, right? And one of the things that we have to understand, and I didn't, you know, get this concept like until later, right? That your parents, they can only do like sometimes we see other people parents and how they are with their children, and then, you know, especially when we were children, we may have compared and said, oh, look at what her mother do for her. You know, her mother is always doing, you know, all these different things for her. And we may have looked at that and said, well, perhaps my mother don't love me, right? And a lot of times that's not the case. What it is that we all have a different language of love. I think they say it's like 5 different languages of love. You know, some people like gifts, okay? Some people like affection, and that's an expression of, you know, love to them. Some people, they like hearing it. They like, you know, you telling them how beautiful and everything they are. That's also. So one of the things that we have to understand, and a great book that talks about this is Four Agreements and Mastery of Love by Don Miguel Ruiz, the same exact author, okay? And is so good. That book is really amazing. And you gotta understand, like, my mother, she didn't have custody of me when I was growing up, okay? But one of the things that I absolutely know my mother, like, I know my mother loved me, right? But one of the things that I absolutely know was my mother's way of expression love, expressing love was on Thursdays. And I talk about this every now and then, but I remember on Thursdays, right? My sister and my aunt, she had custody of me. My mother's sister had custody of me. My mother's sister and her husband. And I remember on Thursday, I would go down to my grandmother's house, and through the week, like prior to Thursday, I call down to my grandmother's house and speak to my grandmother and speak to my mother, and my mother she say, "Oh, so what do you guys want?" Right, asking me and my sister, and I would say, like a cheeseburger, and she would make these real big, ginormous cheeseburgers, seasoned to perfection. Taste additives were amazing. And she would have everything like set up like all the cheese. Like it was so good. That's like a childhood memory that will always stay with me. And that was my mother way of expressing love. Everybody don't express love, the same exact way. Okay? And I guarantee you, one second. I guarantee you, if you are looking for the good in your childhood, right? And you focus on the good in your childhood, the good things that occurred, the more you will be in a better mood. Because focusing so much on what occurred that you didn't like, and I'm not saying just sweep it up under the rug, but that's not really going to do too much of anything. If you just all day keep focusing on how you wish your life would have been. And some of the things that we have to understand and get is, especially the ones who probably didn't have their parents when they was growing up. Like, we don't know if our lives would have been any better. You get what I'm saying? Like, maybe that was a good thing. I remember it was this lady who had called in, and she was speaking to Miss Iyanla Vanzant. And one of the things that the young lady said, pretty much like her mother wasn't there, for her when she was a kid. And Miss Iyanla Vanzant, because she said her mother had an addiction. She said because her mother had an addiction, and one of the things Miss Iyanla Vanzant said, because the mother gave her daughter up, and the girl, she had a good life, like being the fact that she was raised by someone else. Look at these pancakes, honey. Look at them. Look at these pancakes, honey. When I tell you perfection, okay, perfection. All right, and and Miss Iyanla Vanzant said, well, maybe it was a good thing. Your mother gave you to someone who was able to raise you. Maybe that was a good thing. And so it's not, some people, they can't love, they may not be able to love you the way you feel as though they ought to love you. And that's why it's so important for you to give yourself that love, because nobody could love you more than you can love you. I don't care what nobody said. Nobody could love you more than you can love you. And I think that's what, pretty much trips us up, because we looking for people to give us something. And they demonstrated time and time again that they're not able to give it. And it's for you to love yourself. Anytime you're looking for something outside yourself, let me tell you something. Okay? You looking for love outside yourself is going to reflect it. walking on eggshells, can't really say too much because if you say something, the person may pull their love away from you. Who's going through that? Okay. You got to ask yourself, do you want to live like that? Do you want to live like that? Okay? Because you got to understand that you deserve love. That you deserve it. Now, I'm not going to make a whole bunch of pancakes because, I learned my lesson. I made a lot of pancakes last time. And then my youngest daughter, well, she going to eat this. She gonna eat this. And she gonna like it. She gonna eat it. She gonna like it. So this is our pancakes. Got the cinnamon in here. Oh, yes. Yes. Going to a show tonight. So, I had told you guys, like, relationships. Oh my goodness. So I had told you guys about the guys that I've been meeting lately, right? It's so crazy. And I keep thinking about this one guy, and I was coming at it a Dollar Tree, right? And it's so funny how I want to say guys are. So I'm coming at it a Dollar Tree. I see this car that pretty much is stopped at the stop sign. I pay attention to my surroundings. And pretty much just stopped there and was stopped there for a good minute. And at first I'm like, what is this, this person doing? Start thinking like, do I know this person? So fast forward, I continue to walk, right? And then a car pulled off. So when a car pulled off, I know, honey, look at these pancakes. Get one time for the one time, okay? If these pancakes look good, I need you to put a thumbs up, okay? Honey, where are they making pancakes like this at? Oh, child, where are they making the pancakes like this, my love? So, I'm standing, I start proceeding to walk, right? And so it's this guy who turns, he drives off and now he turns into like this parking area. So he stops like right there, like he pulls up a little bit. And this is pretty much like where the cars is turning in and because they have like a few stores over there. Well, not stores, but businesses like a laundromat, a gym, etc. So he gets out the car and he was like, listen, to the ones out there that's like, you don't want your hair to be gray, is Purity Magic and gray hair, okay? Purity Magic. But it's all according to what you perceive it to be. When my hair my hair started turning gray in my 20s. Okay, my late 20s. My hair started turning gray. And I remember I would just dye it, because I felt like, if I have gray hair, I'm a look old, right? You heard that so much. And so I get a lot of compliments, especially from I want to say from the masculine men, right? A lot of compliments on my hair. And so now I'm making some sausages. These turkey sausages, okay? Just in case you wanted to know, honey. So I get a lot of compliments on my hair. And this guy, so he turns in and he's there. And so when I was walking, I had so many plans today for me and my children, but you see it's raining. Well, I think it stopped now, but so as I'm walking, so he gets out of his car and he says, "Hey, how are you doing?" And I was like, "Oh, I'm good." And he was like, "Do you have a minute just so I could talk to you?" So I was like, yeah, I said, I was wondering why would you just stand in here at the stop sign? He was like, "Oh, you seen me?" Yes. Yes, Johnny, I seen you. And so he proceeded on, very nice, seemed like I don't want to say nice guy, but seemed like a calm guy. Okay, because nice actually means foolishness. Okay, you can look this up. And so he goes on and he, started talking and stuff like that. And this guy, one of the things that we had in common was, and I believe this was like sort of a test from the universe, the book, The Four Agreements, because he was like, oh, he had heard somebody, I think it was, what's the guy name? Brady, the guy who played football. Who's retired now. He was like, he heard Brady on a podcast, and Brady was saying about the book, The Four Agreements, how it changed his life. The Four Agreements, honey, if you ain't got the Four Agreements book, I don't know what you're waiting for. I mean, it's a really, really good read. And I'm not going to say, oh, these books change your life. But what I will say is that these books are tools, just like everything else. We get so caught up in the techniques and say, oh, well, this changed my life, or this changed my life. Honey, you changed your life. Okay? You changed your life. You the one who went and got that book. So give yourself some credit. God darn. So anyway, so we there and he's talking, and then he was like, could I take you out right now? I was like, oh no. He was like, I could take you out. They have like this crab, this seafood place is, what's the name of it? I can't think of the seafood place, but it's not too far from me. And he was like, we could go there, we could get something to eat. And I was like, And that's another thing. Let me tell you something. Now, nobody told me this until I got in my late 30s. No, I want to say 40s. Okay. Like when you meet a guy. Did I say late 40s? Honey, not no late 40s, okay? But why do we say late? But anyway, when you first meet a guy, what I really know to be true is this. When you do the work on yourself, you become I want to say more attractive. Like when you are in your feminine energy, right? It's something about it. Remember that people could, your energy speaks before your mouth opens, okay? And people, they can feel it. And while if you trying to be like everybody else, I remember I was driving and it was like all these, and it was like this one area, like where a lot of stores are, and all the girls look the same. You know, the lace front, the long lace front, the nails, the lashes. And I'm not saying anything wrong with that, but it's best to be your unique self. Because when you your unique self, you stand apart from everyone else. And that's really what it is with the gray hair. You know, because there's not too many, you know, it's women out here that's rocking a gray hair. But there's not a whole lot that's rocking a gray hair. And so when you do the work on yourself, you know who you are. You're not settling, okay? You're not in a rush to get into a relationship because you don't feel like, oh, this person is going to complete you. Let me tell you something. If you out here thinking like, oh, well, these people gonna complete me, good luck to you on it. Because honey, no one can complete you. You already complete. Okay? One sec. That was pancakes. Now we're gonna put that was sausages. I'm gonna get a griddle. You know, one of those griddles, but this thing right here, I had this for a few years. When I tell you this thing is so good, it is absolutely amazing. I love this. Nothing sticks to it. It's kind of old, but I love it. It's really, really good. So when I cook, I believe in cleaning up as I cook. You know, because who's going to do all that work afterwards? Yeah, so, you know, let me put some of this. One of the things that you have to try with eggs is feta. Oh my goodness, feta cheese out of this world. It's so good. You're going to thank me later. Yeah, so the guy, he was like, could I take you out right now? You can't make yourself so easily available because you know what that shows? It shows that you have no life. Okay, so don't be out here making yourself easily available for someone because they said that they want to take you out. Mm-mm. And then not only that, I was like, gosh, like He don't know me. He don't even know me. So a few things I'll put in my egg. First up, garlic powder. Just a little splash of it. But onion powder is exactly where it's at. Okay. Garlic butter. Honey, this tastes so good. Don't knock it until you try it. Some salt. And then some pepper. Oh, seasonings that are a staple that you don't see a whole bunch of people with that taste absolutely amazing. First up, we got the Green Goddess from Trader Joe's. So good. Absolutely a must. Is divine. Then we also have the garlic butter that I just showed you guys. Really, really good. Oh my goodness, with steak. Oh, Lordy. Okay. Got our cheese. Yeah, so you know, once you start understanding that like you are a prize, okay, you got to look at yourself like you are a prize, you know, and have that confidence about yourself because it radiant. Is that the word? It radiance. Like people could feel it. You know, they could feel that confidence about you. And so my only thing was like, he don't even know me. You know, to pretty much wanna take me right out on the spot, and you know, like I don't have a life. As if I don't have a life. Now this other guy just took the cake. Okay, nice looking guy, and so I had exchanged numbers with him. He came inside the beauty supply store. I was in there with my children. There was a few red flags though that went on. So I'm with my children, and he came up to me while I'm in a beauty supply store, and he was there with his son. He made sure his son stayed in the next 2 hours. Okay, I guess he ain't want his son to see like what he was doing, which kind of made it seem like, why you keep your son over there, but you came up to me, you know, and I got my children with me, right? So we exchanged numbers. This guy don't know me from a can of paint. He asks me, he's like, oh, do you live like in the area? So I said, yeah. He's like, oh, could I come to your house? That was the biggest turn off I have ever had. I mean, that was such a turn off. Because I was like, come to my house. You know what? Not for nothing though. The guys must be like the women that they used to dating or whatever. Um, is easy for them. Okay. And I guess he felt like kind of embarrassed because, like, after he asked me that, like, the way I guess my response was like, no, right? So he was like, "Oh, can I call you back? I gotta make somebody's on the other line, right?" And he sent me a message after that, and that was just a complete turn off for me. I was like, "Oh no, oh no, could you come to my? You don't, you don't know, like." I was like, "Oh my goodness." Mm-mm. This is my plate. This is my plate. So this is my children's plate. They got the eggs and cheese, the sausages, and the pancakes. I like doing it, some days. And then this is my youngest daughter plate. After working hard, running fast. I got no movie left. All right, family. So it's been real. I'll probably come back on here later on today, depending if I'm in a mood. But I catch you good folks on the up and up. Thanks for tuning in, for watching. I love you guys. Keep rocking out. Believing in yourself. Keep on going. Do know whatever it is that you desire to have in your life, you are capable. You have the potential. You are great enough. You are deserving. You are worthy of it. Okay. And I want you to understand and get that. Like, you are worthy of it. The money, the home, the marriage, the relationships. Like, I really want you to understand that you deserve it. You deserve the best of the freaking best. Okay. And maybe perhaps if you feel like, well, I don't even know how to start loving, maybe you feel like you don't know how to start loving yourself. One of the things that I highly recommend is getting in the mirror in your birthday suit. Okay. Like, if you got to do it, if you got to do it by yourself and get in the mirror and accept and appreciate, you got to accept and appreciate your body, my loves. Okay. I know there's one person, well, a few, it was like taboo to talk about, like, oh, like, you getting in the mirror and stuff and, looking at your body and stuff. And they was like that they couldn't look in the mirror. And I said, I mean, it sounded absurd to me because I said, you can't look in the mirror. It's your body. But remember, if you can't do little things like that, that's the energy that you bring along with you. And if you can't appreciate your body and accept and love your body, then how could you believe that someone else could? Because everything starts with you. Everything starts with what you have going on with the inside. And if you don't feel good about yourself and don't think that that man or that woman, if you don't think that you are that person, then my love, that is the energy that you putting out. And you need to, I don't care who told you what, I remember when I was a kid, and my grandmother loved my grandmother, but one of the things she would say was, you don't get in the mirror and tell yourself, basically that you look good. You let somebody else tell you that. And many of you guys may have heard the same exact thing, and that's why you look for compliments, you look for validation outside yourself, because you feel like other people's words of you is more important than your words of yourself. And honey, let me tell you something, that could never be. That could never be. So you have to start getting in the mirror and telling yourself these things. When I first started doing it, it felt very, oh my goodness, to say the least, very uncomfortable. I felt like I was a big liar when I was telling myself these things. And I never forget my mentor, Bob Proctor. He said, get in the mirror and tell yourself, what it is. You got to talk to yourself the way you want other people to talk to you. If you a person that's seeking friendships and you talk to yourself crazy, calling yourself stupid, dumb, a loser, if you tell yourself those things, imagine what you're going to do when you have those friendships that you desire to have. But I believe in you. Okay, I believe in you. And I know it's possible for you. If it's possible for many, it's possible for you. And with that being said, I'll catch you guys on the next one. Peace.